Hi there, I'm standing in this cattle shed because it reminds me of the time when I got really caught up in my thinking. This was many years ago, and we were replacing these lights. You see the ones that have just come on? From the old strip lights to modern LED lights, and it was really modern then. And I remember at the time people sort of said, and that it's still the case now, that you need 150 lux of light right across your barn. So you'd be able to need to be able to read a newspaper in every part of the barn. It should be really, really easy. Now, we got a design from this chap in Devon, and he basically showed us a system that he had, which he thought was the bee's knees. But unfortunately, it didn't actually do 150 lux right across the barn. And I was kind of like a little bit particular about this, and so I said, well, that corner there, those cows are not going to have enough light. And he said, well, it's a good enough system, you should buy it anyway. I wasn't happy. So we went backwards and forwards a few times, and then eventually he picked up the phone and he got really angry with me. And I was like really upset after that. Bizarrely, rather than just accepting the fact that he was angry with me and this deal wasn't going to go ahead, I was feeling kind of like, oh no. It played on my mind for 2 or 3 days because I don't like upsetting people. I'm probably a bit of an inner pleaser at heart. But I couldn't get rid of this thought, I couldn't get rid of this feeling. And I felt quite flattened by it for a long time. Really, really strange. But what was going on there, and what can happen in those situations that there's an opportunity to perhaps change it? Can you make a mindset shift, as we call it? Some years later, I learnt a concept called thought recognition. And this actually has changed my life around these sort of times when people get to me and I upset people. I upset people all the time, by the way. I mean, I run a farm. I mean, we've got a whole team of people working for us. I'm always doing deals, and sometimes they go right and sometimes they go wrong. You can't help but upset people. Well, maybe it's actually me, but that could be another story. But anyhow, this thought recognition is just a way of looking at what's going on in your head and seeing it objectively, and realizing that actually the stress and the anxiety is not coming from the circumstance, but it's coming from inside of you. And the mindset shift you can make is just by separating those two out. And I'm not saying that just by doing that you're immediately going to feel better and everything's going to be lovely, etc., because it's just not. But what it does do is it means you start looking in the right direction, and you start looking at how perhaps you could not be quite so reactive in the future, and you can decide on a little bit further on how you'd like to be in those sort of situations. And slowly but surely you can bring your personality and your identity and everything round to a much more constructive and better way of being. Now, I'm not saying for 1 minute that I don't get caught up in my thinking now, and there's always something that knocks you off balance. But one thing I would say is that since learning these sort of skills and techniques of shifting mindsets, it has given me an awful lot more flexibility to run this farm in a much more relaxed way, well, most of the time.